Well, good morning, Sandy.
Good morning.
Sandy Marquez.
Marquez, yes.
Sandy Lundy Marquez.
Yes.
Yes. And Sandy, for my information, how long have you been with the Adrian Dominican Sisters here on campus?
My first day of work was August 1st of 2000.
So that's a healthy number of years.
Yes, it is.
And you came back the second day and the third day
I
and
did.
the fourth day.
Yeah.
Who was our administrator at that time?
Sister Rosemary Bernie.
So she interviewed you.
She interviewed me, yes. My first time to meet with her was in one of the parlors at the Motherhouse. And then it was a few weeks before I came back for a second interview. And the whole time I was wondering, how am I going to fit into this? I'm not Catholic. This is going to be different for me. But when I came to the DLC lobby for the second interview, I met with Rosemary, Nilda, and Jan. I left feeling like I have to have this job. I want this job.
I fit right in.
Well, there was something very positive in the lobby. There was a very positive energy that I felt the minute I walked into the building.
My.
And so I changed.
Full circle.
I sure did. And I thought, I have to have this job.
That's interesting, because when I first came to be interviewed for a position at Weber, I walked through med and I thought, well, I don't know if I want to be here or not. And then I got to Weber, and it was like just the same experience you had. Well, that's wonderful. Had you known about what a nun and a sister was?
Well, as a non-Catholic,
Yes.
I knew of them. I remember seeing Sisters in Full Habit at the Klein store in downtown Adrian.
Yes.
So that would have been probably in the late 60s. And I know my dad did business here off and on, just a little bit. Lundy's Heating and Plumbing.
Did he speak at home about the sisters?
He didn't. He was more residential as far as providing services.
Yes.
And so there were more commercial needs here. Yeah.
So this was a mystery then for you.
Yes.
How could you not like the three women that you met that one day?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that they all weren't Adrian Dominican sisters.
Right.
That was another, yes, I can fit in.
Right.
I fit in here. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Well, you've blessed us with your presence. I know our sisters here on campus hear your name, hear your voice, and I know you're present at the administrative meetings. But would you share with the sisters and our other co-workers what you focus on from day to day?
Well, I oversee and relate with the receptionists, and they're scheduled 365 days a year for 16 hours a day. I work in medical records. I prepare for all admissions, whether temporary or permanent.
What does that mean, prepare for for admissions?
It's not just me alone. There's definitely a team preparing a room. I don't do the room, but there's a whole team effort to prepare for a sister coming in. And, I think if you put everybody together, it's probably a 50-point checklist.
Isn't that
making sure the
amazing?
room's ready, making sure the documents are ready at the nursing station, the phone is ready. If sister has special needs for furniture in the room, all kinds of things.
Oh my.
I also, probably the biggest part of my job is to interface with all of the departments in an interdisciplinary manner. I schedule all of the interdisciplinary meetings, which occur weekly, and prepare all the minutes from those meetings.
Do you ever take a break?
Occasionally. I had one yesterday. Yes.
So continue the interdisciplinary meetings.
Right. Some of them are meetings where just different departments meet to talk about sisters' needs, if her needs are being met, and how can we better meet them. That's nursing, it's food services, it's resident services.
I had one of those. So are you the one that sets up those meetings?
But that was probably a new admission conference,
Yes.
and I do set those up.
My.
There's care circles that go on that the social worker now is taking over scheduling those. And then, of course, I'm Cheryl's assistant. So
On the side.
yes.
Well,
Right.
lucky Cheryl. So you've had three administrators.
I've had
then.
3.
Sister Rosemary Abramovich and
Sister Karen Rossman, and now Cheryl Pickney.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, someday we'll write a history of them. All right.
Right.
Because you see the inside story.
Right, and
Yeah.
different styles,
Yes.
which is all fine.
And it's makes life interesting for you. You know,
Right.
it doesn't get boring, does
My
it?
job has never been static. Never. Mm-mm.
Well, I remember when I was living at Regina, you took care of the guests also.
Right.
Do you still do that?
I do. Right.
Make sure the key's out.
Yes.
For the guests.
Right, for any sister guests staying in Regina. Yeah.
And for the big times, meaning during general chapter, I would imagine you're quite
General chapter
swamped.
and Jubilee, right. I do, though, a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, so people don't always see me.
When you're pushed to say what do you enjoy, what part of that position do you enjoy the most?
I think it's the juggling of everything. And
know
all the
that it works.
Right, it does work. At least I think it's working.
Do you live here in Adrian?
I do. 2 miles away.
And family?
Yes, I have 2 of my 3 siblings are local, and I have 2 girls and 2 grandkids.
Oh my. Well, I would say, and I'm going to ask Ashley behind me, who's doing this taping. Does she look that old? No. So, you've come to know the nun's life, let me say, since you've been here. What has fascinated you about our sisters?
I think it's this whole aging with grace that I've come to understand. Rosemary was very influential in my understanding of campus culture and of the congregation. But to understand everything took some time. And I marvel at the living that goes on here.
Yeah, it's we don't focus on the dying.
No.
No, because it's well,
Right.
thank you for saying that, because it really is true.
It is true. And I remember Sister Mary Jean Bernie,
Oh yes.
who I became friends with. I met her my very first day here, and I ended up speaking at her wake 15 years later.
She had had a stroke early on, hadn't she?
Yes, and so I learned to really accept the grace that comes with having a friendship relationship with someone that's mostly nonverbal.
Amazing.
It's a different way of looking at
Yes.
life and living.
Yes. Oh, I can imagine what joy you brought to her. Yes.
And she to me.
Yes. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful soul. Would you mind telling me the story of having homemade marshmallows?
Oh, yeah. Sister Rosemary often had the directors over to her house because she loves to prepare full meals from scratch, including marshmallows.
I'd never heard of such a thing. Had you?
No.
Were you all surprised?
Actually, I thought the time that it takes to make something like that, which she later admitted is probably something she would not do again, which is fine. But that's what I like about Rosemary, is she would always try something new.
Yes. Yes, she kept the home fires burning,
Yes,
didn't
she
she?
did.
Both here and there.
Right,
Yes,
right,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Who were there any visitors during your time here that you never expected to meet or to know about?
Well, I know I met the bishop.
The local bishop. I mean, the Lansing
Bishop.
bishop.
Boyer, yes,
Mhm.
yes. When he first took his position,
Yes.
not sure of the quite
Yes,
of the term, installed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He came here for liturgy, probably.
Yes, he
Mhm.
does that at least annually,
Mhm.
but it was when he first met the sisters in leadership on campus.
We
And
did
they had an
have-
open house.
Yes. Oh, open house.
Mhm.
Oh,
Over
how
in the
nice.
Adrian room.
Mhm. Could you count the number of things that have happened in the Rose Room?
Oh, no, no.
Yeah. Do you schedule that too?
Yes.
Oh my heavens.
Mhm.
Oh my. Many conflicts.
Occasionally, and we
Mhm.
have to iron those out when they
Mhm.
happen. Right.
Mhm.
You know, certain things take precedence in the room.
What is the most I should say odd or out of the regular lineup of things happening in the Rose Room that you remember? I know there have been plenty of conferences in there.
Right. There's retirement parties. There's annual service awards. There's congregation meetings. There's our administration meetings with the sisters. There's wakes.
Yeah.
I think when I first started here, to find out we had Halloween parties. I thought, oh, and people dressed up for them, and now that we have big competitions, so
That's
it's
fun.
different.
Yeah, that's fun. Yes.
It is fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, when we have a general chapter, that's a busy time.
Yes.
But when you were here for renovation, then of the old section of Maria, correct?
Yes. Yes. That
Had
was
the
in
others
2008.
had the 2 South and 3 South been
That had
I think
occurred
so.
before me.
just a couple years before
Mhm.
you came, because we didn't have a Rose Room
Right.
before, for such meeting. A lot of things took place in chapel.
Right.
What other changes have you noticed?
Well, definitely St. Catherine Chapel.
Oh, yes.
When I first came here in August of 2000, they were working on renovating Holy Rosary Chapel.
Mm.
And I remember the big stained glass windows were out and sent, I think, to New York to be refurbished.
Aren't they the most beautiful?
They are.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
I always wondered where the money came for those and for the terrazzo floors
Mhm.
and the marble on the wall in Madden.
Mhm.
Just amazing.
It's beautiful.
And what about the current changes that are taking place in Maria here? There's some construction going on.
Right, and mostly on 2 and 3 South, the
Mhm.
nursing station areas, and updating the hallways and shower rooms.
For making them larger or?
Larger and more efficient for
Mhm.
staff and sisters.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Has that been difficult for the nursing staff with
Probably,
this?
but with aplomb, they just kind of do their thing.
Oh my. I wonder if it's hard on the sisters too.
Probably there's
Probably.
noise and dust
Mhm.
and traffic and different people on the floor that they've not seen before. Right.
Going back to your activities now, I know you just don't sit in your office and work all day. There must be some campus committees you've been a part of.
Over the years, I was part of the My Ideas Count committee. I don't really have the time to join many other meetings or
Yeah.
groups.
Yes.
I don't.
Unfortunately.
Mhm.
But you get traffic, which,
Oh, yes.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. And you're handy to everyone, and
Right.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
you're
I
right
remember
there.
Rosemary saying, how comfortable are you with this job? Because there's numerous interruptions all
Mhm.
day long, and you'd have to underscore that. There are
Yeah,
numerous
there's
interruptions all day long.
Yeah. And you have to keep your peace about you.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you're happy to get home.
Yes,
And
occasionally, yes.
And who's there to greet you?
Oh, my husband and youngest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
And may that continue, please, 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 because you bring a beautiful presence to us all.
Thank you.
God
I
bless you.
just hope the sisters feel that they get from me as much as I get from them.
Oh, that's lovely.
Honestly, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.